Jake Oettinger and Casey DeSmith rank outside the top 10 for top NHL goalie tandems. Is this a joke? Sadly, not.
Your Locked On Stars, your daily podcast on the Dallas Stars. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Howdy, Stars fans. I'm Joey Erickson, former producer of 105 Through the Fan. Please be sure to subscribe. We are free and available wherever you get your podcasts and on YouTube. And as always, thank you so much for making us a part of your day and making us your first listen. Welcome to Thursday edition of Locked On Stars, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, now the #1 sports podcast network. You heard me correctly off the top, Stars fans. Jake Oettinger and Casey DeSmith rank outside the top 10 on best NHL goalie tandems from Jesse Granger of The Athletic. In what planet is Jake Oettinger and Casey DeSmith not one of the best duos in the entire National Hockey League? And I like to think this isn't just recency bias as well. Jake Oettinger and Casey DeSmith are coming off two terrific starts, but the body of work they have put together this year, I think, warrants them to at least be in the conversation of top 5, if not top 3, for what they are able to accomplish together and what they have been able to do this season. And I know most of these lists are here to fire people up and get people talking about it. So we're going to talk about it on today's episode. Sit back and enjoy. This one makes no complete sense to me. So it starts off by saying, as a whole, the trend of increased offense in the NHL has continued. Shots are down, goals are up, and as a result, the league average save percentage has dipped below 900 for the first time in 20 years. So statistics are a big factor in this ranking, and this is what really gets me. Results matter above all. We will also be considering how these goaltenders have looked on film and take their career-long performances into consideration. Roughly 25-game sample size we have for each team is enough to evaluate how each goalie is performing this season. It also says deciding on how much to weigh each goalie when evaluating can be tricky. Of course, teams that have a Vasilevsky or Hellebuck who usually take a heavy workload will maybe get carried farther up the rankings compared to teams that have more of a 50-50 split. But let's get down to where Dallas is. Number 11, Jake Oettinger and Casey DeSmith. Here is the little mini paragraph that tries to justify this absolutely horrific ranking. Considering his age, talent, and team in front of him, this felt like the year Jake Oettinger could win his first Vezina Trophy. Through the first quarter, he hasn't quite taken that step. I don't disagree. Oettinger has been fine. His stats are slightly above average, and he has made some clutch stops in late games to earn victories, but he hasn't been dominant. Statistically, he's actually been inferior to his backup, Casey DeSmith. Well, that right there, I think, warrants why we have to move DeSmith and Otter up. It says, while it's been disappointing in relation to Oettinger's sky-high expectations, Oettinger and DeSmith have been a reliable tandem that rarely costs their team and consistently help it earn. I mean, is that not the understatement of the year? Stars have won, I think, the most games of the last couple of years, and you said results above all matter the most. Well, you have Jake Oettinger this season that has won 12 games. That's third most in the NHL, second most, actually. He has a 900 save percentage, which is nothing to jump up and down about. It's make it 906, actually. It improved because of his wonderful start the other night, which is 15th. But Casey DeSmith is second at 921. 921, that's second in the NHL. Do we not watch the road games? They're one of the best teams in the NHL on the road. And Oettinger has been a big part of that. So is Casey DeSmith. These are the tandems in front of them. Spencer Knight and Arvid Soderblom. Yeah, I think I'll take Otter and Casey DeSmith. The Sharks, Askarov, Nedeljkovic. No offense to, I think Askarov's a great goaltender. But if we're taking in career performances and sample sizes, I think everybody in the NHL that likes the NHL would take Otter over them. Look, you have a Vasilevsky, Jonas Johansson. I know Vasilevsky is having a good season, but if we're talking about a tandem, Stars have a better tandem. You can even look at some of the advanced statistics if you want to do that. DeSmith has better advanced numbers than Jake Oettinger, and they're pretty close. Look at the goal save above expected. Casey DeSmith, 9.3. Oettinger, 8.0. The fact that they're even that close, I think, tells you the heights of what they can reach. And I just think this list is an absolute joke. Look, they have the Islanders at number 4, which I don't hate. Some of the teams in the top 3, they good arguments. Rangers, sure, they've been amazing. Minnesota, yeah. I mean, Wallstedt has been on a heater lately. And you have to take that into account, along with Gustafsson. Wedgwood and Blackwood. I mean, Wedgwood has been like the best goaltender in the NHL. That's deservedly so. But to be outside the top 10 is something. And to be behind Hellebuck at this point, who is hurt. And it even states in the article, Eric Comrie is an elite backup. Well, yeah, Casey is. I don't know what we're doing here. It feels extremely low. If I had to re-rank them, I'd probably put the Stars 5. I think that would be fair for right now. You got to take some of this season into consideration. And as I mentioned, it's not like Otter has been dominant. I'm not arguing that. But as a tandem, to not be in the top 5 is a total travesty. And I think a disservice to the Dallas Stars. I don't see how that could be all the way down there at number 11. It fired me up when I saw this. So I feel like we had to dedicate a segment to it and highlight Oettinger and DeSmith for how good they have been for Dallas this season. Look at DeSmith, .921 save percentage. That's second in the NHL. He has a 2.16 goals against average. That's 4th. He has been incredible. And it's not like Otter is lagging that far behind. Otter is about middle of the pack in both save percentage and goals against. And of course, the Stars have a good team in front of them. I know that doesn't mean I know that helps goaltending. That's why I think like a Minnesota is fair to be above them. Just because of the start they got off to, they struggled. But those two have been on an absolute heater. I think you can look at the advanced numbers, just the obvious stats, and it needs to be it needs to be shown that DeSmith and Otter being ranked outside the top 10 just makes absolutely no sense. I really don't get that one. And I think some of the justification behind it is it's not good enough. So Jesse Granger, putting you on blast. Okay. And again, I feel like most lists nowadays, they do this just to rile you up. And it's way too low. Stars fans, let me know where you would have Oettinger and DeSmith. I think many Stars fans, and yes, we're biased, would take this tandem over a lot of teams in the NHL. And I think I look at it as if you needed to win a game 7 and you didn't have your number 1, I think that which tandem would you go with, right? I think that has to weigh in something. I think DeSmith is up there right now. Wallstedt isn't your number 1, but he doesn't have any experience in the postseason. Doesn't have something like that. If you're New York, you have Jonathan Quick. At his age, I get it. He wouldn't be maybe first choice, but he'd still be up there to win you a game. And then, so I think that would, if Capitals, right, with Thompson and Lindgren. Them at 6 seems even a bit low. I know Lindgren isn't off to a great start. He was excellent last season. So yeah, I needed the Blackhawks one is really. I mean, that's just. We're just making lists for the sake of making lists. Let's have some good lists if we're going to put some together. I don't know. 11, just didn't like it. I just didn't like it. So there you go. Those are some of my thoughts. You let me know. Does that fire you up as much as me? Probably not. But I felt like we needed to discuss that on today's show. We're also going to discuss now the three-headed monster for Dallas. We have some time to really dissect what Jason Robertson, Miko Rantanen, and Wyatt Johnston have done for Dallas here in the first 28 games of the season. How good have they been? How incredible have they been? Because they are carrying a massive load. Let's discuss more in just a moment. Today's episode of Locked On Stars is brought to you by FanDuel. NFL Sundays move fast, one big play, and suddenly everything feels different. That's what makes live betting with FanDuel so exciting. You're not just watching the game, you're reacting to it in real time. With FanDuel, you can place live bets as the action unfolds. Every drive, every momentum swing, every highlight moment. Live betting is best when the game starts to shift. A receiver gets hot, a defense tightens up, or the momentum flips after that turnover. FanDuel lets you jump into the moment. Live spreads and money lines adjust instantly. Player props update as guys heat up. You can bet next touchdown scores, drive results, totals, and more. It keeps every game locked in, every snap, every drive, every possibility. It's going to be a ton of fun for Lions and Cowboys tonight. Great matchup as the Cowboys are trying to get hot right now. You have the Detroit Lions minus 152, so a slight favorite. Cowboys plus 128 money line, I think, is a great bet. Fire those Cowboys up. The Lions are banged up. Cowboys going to take this one, I think, easily. So get in on the action with FanDuel. If you want to be right in the middle of the action this season, visit FanDuel.com. Place your NFL live bets all season long. FanDuel, the game moves fast, and so can you. The Stars' three-headed monster is going bonkers this season. We are spoiled to watch some of the action from this trio, who I think is going to be kept together here a bit now with the Sagan injury. And they have been so dangerous this season. But I wanted to take a deeper look at just some of the numbers and what Dallas has been able to do and what this trio has been able to do. So they have combined for 102 points this season. Robertson has 36. Rantanen has 35. Johnston has 31. They have also combined for 45 goals this season. 45 goals. And if you look at the total number of goals for Dallas this season, I'm recording this late on a Wednesday, so I want to make sure everything is up to date. The Stars have scored 96 goals this season. That trio has 45 of them. That's pretty insane. If you put that into percentage, that's almost 50%. It's nearly 50%. It's 46% of the goals this season. On the power play, we know Wyatt Johnston is the best power play goal scorer in the league right now. 21 goals combined between the three. They have 29 power play goals this season, the Stars. 21 of them are accounted by Robertson, Rantanen, and Johnston. That's 72%. I mean, it's remarkable. You look at the primary assists too. Rantanen, Johnston, Robertson, three of the top four. Rantanen's got 12. Johnston got 10. Robo's got 9. So they're setting others up. They're setting their line mates up, and they're producing at this incredible rate. And this is something that has been in the back of my mind recently and does worry me some, because Rantanen and company, like, they are producing so much. They are really carrying the Stars. And as much as I have loved the depth for Dallas, the depth has been excellent. We talk about it every night, it feels like. They've been very effective. The Stars are still relying for the majority of their scoring from these guys. And the power play, of course, which consists of them. I don't want to look too far down the tracks, but when it comes to playoff time, I just have this eerie feeling, or maybe not an eerie feeling, just a feeling maybe deep down inside that can you really get through a series or two with just Rantanen and company alone? Yeah, I think you can get through maybe a series or two. We saw that last year. But you're going to have to rely on some others. And can we really sit and be like, okay, yeah, we can rely on a lot of production from a Sam Steele, a Maverick Bork, a Ritskovian. Like, those are the guys it feels like you're going to have step up for you to win a Stanley Cup, right? That is the goal, to win a Stanley Cup. And that's what worries me, because we have seen in past the scoring has dried up. And maybe it's not fair to think this way just because it is a new coach, it's a new staff, new philosophy, it's a new system. So maybe we shouldn't have this premature conversation, but that does kind of enter my mind. It's like, and as much as Ritskovian and Beck and Steele have been great, when it comes to the Stanley Cup playoffs, can you really rely on them to help you? Because those are the type of players, or at least they're in roles where you need those guys to step up and chip in offensively. Not only just play well, but be producers. You need those guys, because at points, Rantanen and Johnston can't do it all. They're going to be marking those guys. Those are the players that teams are going to try to shut down. Not to turn this into a big negative, because at this point, I don't really care all that much. The Stars just need offense. They need someone to do it. And it just so happens these are the three guys that are healthy right now and have been great. Rope Hintz deserves some love too. I think he should be a part of maybe this trio. Maybe it's a quartet. It's a four-headed monster. Hintz is a point per game guy this season, 23 points in 23 games. Has been excellent. I think he's looked more engaged. I think at points last season, Rope can have really poor body language, in my opinion, at points. It just feels like sometimes he can give up on plays. I don't think we've seen that as much this season. There are some times throws his head back at points, but I think there's a lot less of it. And maybe it's a Rantanen effect. Rantanen coming in, being the horse that he can be. And you look at Rantanen, he never looks disinterested, never looks disengaged. He is locked in and is a moose, right? He is a moose. I think that has had a large effect on him. I really do. I just don't think you see, because I think it's fair to say, like, he can be a bit pouty sometimes. I think you can read it off of him, and that hasn't been the case as much this season. The fancy stats, of course. Look at the expected goal numbers for those three. Well, they're the top three on the Stars. 15.1 for Robertson. He does lead the league in shots on goal. Johnston, 12.6. Rantanen, 11.9. And before Ben came back, this was a line the Stars were using a bit. And we talked about it, that this is maybe the new top line, one of the best in the NHL. And then Ben came back. They've kind of broken it up a bit. But now with Sagan out, maybe we see this trio a bit more. And they've been good. In 63 minutes this season, a 63.2% expected goals percentage. Actually, the only line that's better, Steele, Hintz, and Rantanen. Very similar minutes as well. But you look at the expected goals for 4.8 for Johnston, Rantanen, and Robertson. That is one of the best. And they actually are really good defensively. One of the better lines. But you just look at how Their expected goals are just so high, 4.55 between Robo, Johnston, and Rantanen, and it's by far the best on Dallas. That's just how lethal they are, and it's not a surprise. Wyatt Johnston this past week didn't really get a touch on it. Took home the first star or the second star of the week. Just missed out as McKinnon was number one, and then you had Jason Robertson was named the second star of the month for November. Can't believe he didn't get first, but he led the NHL in goals, and we've talked about him a bunch and how incredible he was. 26 points in 15 games in the month of November to earn the second star. Plus, Rope Hintz, he reached his 400th career point last night. So big congrats to Rope, who picked up an assist. He's got 400 in his career. So a lot of milestones, it feels like lately. It's a ton. Every other game, really every game. It's either a milestone or somebody's being injured, unfortunately. Sometimes the latter, it feels like. Let's discuss Jamie Benn. He's back. He's been back in a big way. The captain came back at the perfect time. We'll discuss that in just a moment. Today's episode of Locked On Stars is brought to you by Drip Drop. When you're hydrated, everything just works better. Your focus, your energy, your mood, even just your skin, right? That's why you need Drip Drop. It's doctor-developed hydration that keeps you running at full power no matter what your day looks like. Drip Drop isn't your average sports drink. It delivers 3 times the electrolytes and half the sugar of leading brands using a science-backed formula trusted by medical professionals, firefighters, and over 90% of top college and pro teams. Drip Drop is a part of your daily routine. You just mix a packet in your water morning before the gym, during a midday slump, maybe after work. They actually have really good flavors. It doesn't have that weird aftertaste, which you can get a lot with some electrolyte drinks. This is not the case here with Drip Drop. It allows you to stay sharp. Hydration is a non-negotiable for everybody, right? Drip Drop helps you feel sharper, calmer, and honestly, just better overall. And right now, Drip Drop is offering podcast listeners 20% off your first order. Go to dripdrop.com. Use promo code LOCKEDONNHL. That's dripdrop.com. Promo code LOCKEDONNHL for 20% off. Stock up now before the heat hits hard. Keep your body and mind performing at the best with Drip Drop. Jamie Benn has come back and really has not missed a beat. That is one of the things that's really impressed me and surprised me a bit this season, just because a collapsed lung obviously sounds painful. And I would think would take some time for you to would take some time to get back conditioned and overall knock off some rustiness just for not playing and not practicing, because with that type of an injury, you can't really stay in game mode. But maybe it helped too. He probably came into camp in the best shape of his life, so to speak. He's probably in the best shape he'll be in the rest of the year, just because of playing hockey. So and just training throughout the summer, you're probably in the best shape you can be heading into season. So maybe that helped him. It's not like it happened in the off season. He already came in pretty fit, so maybe he didn't lose much after the surgery, but has looked, every part of kind of a middle six winger that, well, the Stars desperately need now with the injuries. But we talked about him a lot in the offseason. What is he? What can he be for Dallas? Is he going to be that fourth line checker? Or can he still produce and be effective up front if he plays in a top 6 role? Well, I think he's answered it with flying colors here to begin the season. He's got 8 points in 9 games. They've thrown him with Rantanen and Johnston. He's held his own and is playing great. He's playing really well. And fortunately, They have their captain back. They just have a bit of a mojo too. I was one that thought without him at the beginning of the season and the schedule the way it was, we've seen in past where if he's out of the lineup, things just don't seem to roll right. Maybe is the what I'm looking for. Just doesn't seem to function properly or function as efficiently as you would hope. That really wasn't the case. Maybe it's just all the new parts, and it's kind of a fresh start for everybody. It feels like under Golitzin. So it just allowed everybody to get their feet wet, and he's just kind of joined, and he hasn't derailed anything. He's only amplified it. And I mean, it has 3 goals, 5 assists in 9 games. Like, this is a great start for Jamie Benn. And, you know, we may look back and look at him at the end of the year and think, I would have signed up for a Jamie Benn that gives you 18 goals, around 50 points. It's a Jamie Benn I would sign up for every day of the week, especially at $1 million. He signed a 1-year deal, and it allows him to, I think, be effective. And now he doesn't have to have the noise of the contract around him. Now we can all be like, oh, he's a great bargain because he's, you know, not making 9.5. But I think he has been a real force for Dallas, and it has really been impressive. I thought he was going to need some time to kind of get settled and knock some rust off, but really hasn't missed a beat. And I think a silver lining was he did get a couple months off. He's 36, and he doesn't miss a lot of time. He's available. It's one thing you can't knock him on. He has played 82 games, a lot in his career. He rarely missed games, but that's probably a good thing at this point of his career. Take the first, month and a half, 2 months off, keeps him a bit fresher. And that's only good news for the Stars, since the injuries continue to pile up, and hopefully they come to an end soon. But the captain has looked great, and we haven't touched on him very much here over the last couple of weeks. So I thought it would be good to talk about him and just share my thoughts on what I've seen from Ben. Because I, for one, too, I know a lot of Stars fans out there were not happy with Jamie at the end of the season. He was just nothing, right? Like, he was non-existent in the postseason for a large chunk of it. And you look back at that point, you're like, man, I think it's time the Stars move off of him. I was one to say that. Well, it's good they have him around. They need him. And I think he's going to have a great season. Looks like he's going to have a strong season. And hopefully is a part of another deep run here for the Stars upcoming in a few months. All right, that's all my thoughts on the captain. That's all my thoughts here on a Thursday. Wanted to bounce a couple of things around with y'all. Thank you, as always, for love and support. Let's get to 5,000 subscribers. Please subscribe if you have not. For those of you that are new, thank you for joining us. Really, really appreciate you making us a part of your day. Locked On Podcast Network, now the #1 sports podcast network. We're bragging about that. You can take a listen to some of the other shows in Dallas. Locked On Cowboys, Rangers, you name it, Mavs, all good stuff. And we appreciate y'all's support. Have a great Thursday, Stars fans. Should be able to bust out an episode for Friday. Stars taking on San Jose tomorrow. Talk about the Stars. That'll be a fun one. Celebrini, Will Smith. That's will be a lot of fun. The up-and-coming San Jose Sharks. Have a great day, Stars fans. We'll see you tomorrow. So long.